Admiral Antares scoffed dismissively at the puny human planet on his view screen, not knowing that his arrogant mistake would cost the lives of millions of Una's soldiers. "Master Altair, why did the humans respond so brutally when our fleet arrived? What did we do wrong?" young Rigel asked, eyes wide with confusion. The elder Unas sighed deeply, his face etched with sorrow as painful memories resurfaced. In the dimly lit room aboard their starship, Altair began recounting the disastrous tale of first contact with humanity. "It was the year 2235, Altair said gravely. "Our Unas confederation had grown vast and powerful, conquering hundreds of star systems. When we detected strange radio signals from an unremarkable planet called Earth, the High Council grew intrigued, a new species to subjugate. Admiral Antares was dispatched with a fleet of 50 warships to investigate and conquer the humans. I served as his chief advisor and warned against underestimating them, but my concerns were foolishly dismissed." Altair shook his head ruefully. "As we approached Earth, we were shocked to find the humans had achieved remarkable technological progress in a few short centuries since their first radio broadcasts. Sprawling cities, global networks, 10 billion citizens. They even had FTL travel, robotics, and advanced energy." But Antares remained arrogantly confident in Una's superiority. He ordered the fleet into invasion positions, not knowing his rash attack would be the greatest mistake in Una's history. Antares doomed us all with his pride and hubris that day. As the imposing Una's fleet assumed formation in the space surrounding Earth, a surprising transmission originating from the planet's surface reached their vessels. The message came from Raymond Morris, a human male serving as the Secretary of Interstellar Affairs for the United Earth Federation. In a bold move, Morris extended an invitation to Admiral Antares and his delegation, proposing a diplomatic summit to be held in the city of Geneva, Switzerland. Altair, intrigued by the humans' audacious approach, advised Antares to accept the invitation. He believed it would provide an opportunity to gather valuable intelligence about their potential adversaries before commencing any aggressive actions. Though reluctant, Antares ultimately agreed to Altair's counsel. A delegation of 5 Unas, with Altair and the Admiral among them, boarded a shuttlecraft and descended to the Earth's surface. Upon their arrival, Secretary Morris and a small contingent of human dignitaries greeted the Unas delegation. The humans escorted their visitors to an opulent conference room that offered a stunning view of Lake Geneva. As the meeting commenced, Altair couldn't help but notice the remarkable composure and calmness displayed by the humans, especially considering the extraordinary circumstances they found themselves in. Secretary Morris, an impressive figure with a tall stature and captivating blue eyes, initiated the discussion by conveying humanity's sincere desire for peaceful coexistence and mutual understanding between their two species. He openly acknowledged the Una's apparent technological superiority, but emphasized that humans were known for their adaptability and quick learning abilities when faced with new challenges. Altair found himself increasingly captivated by Morris's eloquent words and the confidence with which he spoke. The humans' compelling arguments and diplomatic skill drew Altair into the discussion, engaging him in a way he hadn't anticipated. However, this development did not sit well with Admiral Antares, who grew visibly displeased with Altair's apparent fascination with the humans' perspective. Morris continued to navigate the conversation with finesse, highlighting humanity's rich history of overcoming adversity and their capacity for rapid progress. He pointed out that in a relatively short span of time, humans had achieved remarkable feats in fields such as FTL travel, robotics, and advanced energy systems. The Secretary stressed that this innate human ability to adapt and innovate made them valuable potential allies, rather than mere subordinates to be conquered. As the discussions proceeded, Altair couldn't shake the growing sense that there was more to these humans than their initial assessment had suggested. Morris's words painted a picture of a species with untapped potential, one that could prove to be a formidable force if provoked or underestimated. The Una's advisor found himself questioning whether the path of conquest, as advocated by Admiral Antares, was indeed the wisest course of action. The atmosphere in the conference room grew increasingly tense as Antares' impatience with the diplomatic proceedings became more apparent. The Admiral's body language and curt responses to Morris's overtures signaled his unwavering belief in Una's superiority and his eagerness to assert dominance over the humans. Altair, however, found himself torn between his loyalty to the Unas cause and the nagging doubt that had taken root in his mind. Secretary Morris reached into a briefcase and withdrew a thick dossier, sliding it across the polished conference table to the Unas delegation. Before we continue, I believe it's important for you to understand that we have been preparing for this moment for quite some time. Altair opened the dossier, his eyes widening as he scanned the contents. Detailed Una's historical records, cultural analyses, and technological schematics filled the pages. The information was astoundingly accurate and comprehensive, far beyond what any species had ever compiled on the Unas. How did you obtain all of this? Altair asked, his voice a mixture of awe and apprehension. Morris leaned back in his chair, a slight smile playing on his lips. We have been monitoring your civilization for decades, using advanced stealth probes and long-range sensors. Our technology may not be as overtly impressive as yours, but we have our ways. Admiral Antares slammed his fist on the table, his face contorted with rage. You dare spy on us? This is an act of aggression. Secretary Morris remained unfazed by the outburst. On the contrary, Admiral, we view it as a necessary precaution. You see, we have been aware of your presence in the galaxy for a long time, and we have been preparing for this inevitable first contact. Altair, still reeling from the revelation, found himself intrigued by the human's foresight. What exactly do you mean by preparing? Morris stood and walked to the floor-to-ceiling window overlooking the city. We have not been idle, Master Altair. The United Earth Federation has forged alliances with numerous other spacefaring species, many of whom have had, shall we say, less than positive experiences with the Unas expansionist policies. Altair's mind raced as he processed this information. The humans had not only been monitoring the Unas, but had also been actively building a network of allies. It was a strategic move that demonstrated a keen understanding of galactic politics. Admiral Antares, however, grew more agitated by the second. You think your pitiful alliances can stand against the might of the Unas Confederation? We have conquered hundreds of worlds. Secretary Morris turned to face the Admiral, his blue eyes piercing. And yet here we are having this conversation. Perhaps it's time to consider a different approach. Altair leaned forward, his interest piqued. What do you propose, Secretary Morris? The human diplomat returned to his seat, his expression one of calm determination. A series of agreements between our two species, designed to promote peace and cooperation, trade deals, cultural exchanges, joint scientific research projects. We have much to offer each other if we can move beyond the notion of conquest. Antares scoffed, but Altair found himself drawn to the idea. The humans had already proven themselves to be formidable in ways the Unas had not anticipated. Perhaps there was wisdom in seeking a mutually beneficial relationship. As the tension in the room mounted, Altair spoke up, his voice steady. I believe Secretary Morris's proposal merits serious consideration, Admiral. The potential benefits to both our species cannot be ignored. Admiral Antares shot Altair a venomous glare, his displeasure at the advisor's words palpable. The tense standoff in the conference room was interrupted by an urgent beeping from Admiral Antares's wrist communicator. His face darkening, Antares activated the device. Captain Sirius's holographic visage materialized, panic etched across his features. Admiral, we have an emergency situation, Sirius reported, his voice shaking. A fleet of human warships has surrounded our vessels, using some kind of advanced cloaking technology. They appeared out of nowhere and have locked weapons on us. They're demanding our immediate withdrawal from Earth orbit, sir. Antares shot to his feet, his chair clattering to the floor. He rounded on Secretary Morris, eyes blazing with fury. You treacherous scum! This was your plan all along, wasn't it? Lure us down here with false promises while your ships move in for the kill? Morris raised his hands in a placating gesture, his expression remaining calm. Admiral, I assure you, this is not an act of aggression. Our fleet is merely taking precautionary measures to ensure the safety of our planet. As long as you maintain a peaceful stance, no hostile action will be taken. Antares slammed his fist on the table, causing the other Unas to flinch. Peaceful? You call this peaceful? Your ships are one wrong move away from starting a war. Altair, sensing the situation spiraling out of control, interjected, Admiral, perhaps we should investigate further before jumping to conclusions. I propose a joint inspection of the human fleet to verify their intentions and capabilities. Secretary Morris nodded in agreement. An excellent suggestion, Master Altair. We have nothing to hide. A tour of our flagship, the UEF Prometheus, should help clear up any misunderstandings. Antares glared at Altair, his nostrils flaring but reluctantly acquiesced. The Unas delegation, accompanied by a group of human diplomats, boarded a sleek shuttlecraft and set course for the Prometheus. As they approached the massive battleship, Altair couldn't help but marvel at its impressive design. Gleaming silver hull plating, powerful thrusters, and an array of formidable weapon systems adorned the vessel. The shuttle docked with a soft thud, and the airlock hissed open. Admiral Elena Ivanova, a striking woman with close-cropped silver hair and piercing green eyes, greeted them in the hangar bay. Welcome aboard the Prometheus, esteemed guests. Please follow me. I have much to show you. Ivanova led the group through the ship's corridors, pointing out various technological marvels. In the engine room, she explained the intricacies of the Prometheus's advanced propulsion system, capable of achieving incredible speeds and maneuverability. As they entered the weapons control center, Altair's eyes widened at the sight of the sophisticated targeting systems and powerful armaments on display. Antimatter torpedoes, phased energy cannons, and a state-of-the-art artificial intelligence that assisted with fire control. The humans' military prowess was far beyond what the Unas had anticipated. Ivanova turned to face the delegation, her gaze locking with Altair's. As you can see, our technology is quite formidable. However, I must stress that our intention is not to engage in hostilities. We simply wish to protect our home and ensure a balanced relationship with your species. Altair nodded slowly, a newfound respect for the humans growing within him. It was becoming increasingly clear that a military confrontation with Earth would be a costly endeavor, one that the Unas may not be prepared for. As the Unas delegation disembarked from the Prometheus, Secretary Morris turned to Admiral Ivanova with a gleam in his eye. Admiral, why don't we show our guests what human forces are truly capable of? Ivanova nodded, a sly smile playing at the corners of her mouth. An excellent idea, Mr. Secretary. She faced the Unas group. If you'll follow me, we have arranged a demonstration that I believe you'll find quite enlightening. The delegation was ushered into a sleek black transport craft that whisked them away from the Prometheus. As they soared through Earth's atmosphere, Altair watched the planet's surface transform from the vibrant blue of oceans to the mottled browns and greens of land masses. The craft descended towards a vast desert expanse, touching down on a landing pad adjacent to a sprawling military complex. Towering concrete walls and gleaming metal structures stretched out before them, bristling with advanced technology. Secretary Morris led the group into the heart of the facility, where they emerged into a cavernous hangar. The space was abuzz with activity as human soldiers clad in sleek, black armor moved about with purpose. Altair's eyes widened as he took in the sight of the powered exoskeletons that encased the soldiers' bodies, enhancing their strength and speed to superhuman levels. "Welcome to the Nevada Combat Testing Facility," Morris announced, his voice echoing off the hangar's walls. "Here we put our most advanced military technology to the test against simulated alien threats." Admiral Antares scoffed, his brow furrowing. "Simulations? You expect us to be impressed by mere games?" Morris smiled, unfazed by the UNA's leader's dismissive tone. "I assure you, Admiral, these are no mere games. Our simulations are based on extensive intelligence gathered on the UNA's military and other advanced alien civilizations. What you're about to witness is a glimpse into the future of warfare." The group was ushered into an observation deck overlooking a vast arena-like space. Below, a series of simulated battlefields had been constructed, each one replicating a different alien environment. As the first simulation began, Altair watched in rapt attention as a squad of human soldiers engaged a force of UNA's warriors. The humans moved with fluid grace, their exoskeletons allowing them to evade the UNA's plasma bolts with ease. Energy weapons flared in their hands, cutting through the aliens' armor like a hot knife through butter. But it wasn't just the humans' advanced technology that impressed Altair. It was their adaptability, their creativity in the face of a superior foe. The soldiers worked together seamlessly, using the terrain to their advantage and employing unconventional tactics to outmaneuver the UNAs. As the simulation ended with a decisive human victory, Admiral Antares slammed his fist against the observation deck's railing. "Impossible! How could mere primitives defeat UNA's warriors so easily?" Secretary Morris turned to the Admiral, his expression one of calm assurance. "The answer, Admiral, lies in our history. You see, humanity has been reverse engineering alien technology for decades, ever since the first UNA's scout ship crash-landed on Earth in the late 21st century. Altair's eyes widened in shock. The humans had known about the UNAs for that long, and they had been studying their technology, learning from it, improving upon it. Morris continued, "The recovered technology, combined with our own scientific advancements, has allowed us to develop a formidable military force capable of defending against even the most advanced alien threats. We may not have the numbers or the resources of the UNA's Confederation, but we have something far more valuable, the determination to protect our home and our way of life." As the simulations continued, each one showcasing the humans' remarkable capabilities, Altair found himself re-evaluating everything he had assumed about this seemingly primitive species. The humans were resourceful, tenacious, and far more advanced than the UNAs had ever given them credit for. Perhaps, Altair mused, the humans were not a species to be conquered, but rather one to be respected, even feared. And as he watched the human soldiers triumph again and again against the simulated UNA's forces, a new thought began to take root in his mind. Maybe, just maybe, the humans could be more than just a threat to the UNAs. Maybe they could be allies. The demonstration ended, and Secretary Morris turned to the UNA's delegation, his blue eyes glinting with a mixture of pride and determination. "So, Admiral Antares, what do you think of human combat capabilities now?" Admiral Antares scowled, his eyes narrowing as he considered Morris's proposal. After a tense moment, he growled, "Very well, we will attend this cultural exchange, but mark my words, human, if this is another trick." Secretary Morris raised his hands in a placating gesture. "I assure you, Admiral, our invitation is sincere. We simply wish to share the best of our civilization with you, just as we hope to learn from yours." Hours later, the UNA's delegation found themselves on a sleek, high-speed train, hurtling towards New York City. As the urban landscape blurred past the windows, Altair marveled at the ingenuity of human transportation. The train smoothly decelerated, gliding into a cavernous station in the heart of Manhattan. Stepping onto the bustling platform, the UNAs were greeted by a sea of human faces, their expressions ranging from curiosity to awe. Secretary Morris, flanked by a team of security personnel, led the delegation out of the station and onto the streets of New York. Altair's eyes widened as he took in the towering skyscrapers that seemed to scrape the very sky. The city thrummed with energy, its sidewalks packed with people of every conceivable background. Antares, despite his reservations, couldn't help but be impressed by the sheer scale and diversity of the human metropolis. Their tour began in earnest, with Morris guiding them through the city's iconic landmarks. In Times Square, the UNAs stood transfixed by the dazzling array of digital billboards, each one showcasing the vibrancy of human culture. At Central Park, they marveled at the lush greenery and tranquil lakes, a serene oasis amidst the urban jungle. As evening fell, the delegation arrived at the Metropolitan Opera House, where they were ushered into a private box overlooking the stage. The curtain rose, revealing a hauntingly beautiful set that transported them to the castle of Elsinore. Altair leaned forward in his seat, captivated by the unfolding drama of Shakespeare's Hamlet. The actors, clad in richly detailed costumes, brought the centuries-old tale to life with their impassioned performances. The Una's advisor found himself drawn into the complex web of human emotions: love, betrayal, vengeance,